Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA, cruising along at 45 miles an hour, and everybody behind me is just tickled to death. But the speed limit on this road right here is 50 miles an hour. But anyway, having said that, what I wanted to touch on, I've had several questions about my Casita since I've gotten it. I got it October the 3rd, 2018. It's a 2019 Casita Freedom Deluxe 17-foot fiberglass travel trailer. They make them in Rice, Texas, and so far it's been a good unit. But again, I've had several questions, so get to them, Rusty. Don't just start here, keep talking. One question was, and it's come up several times, is do I use a weight distribution hitch? Answer, no. Why? Well, because the Casita travel trailer weighs 2,450 pounds. In my opinion, and it's proven true because I've towed this travel trailer for about 2,000 miles, you don't need it. All right, now it's up to you. If you want to get a weight distribution hitch, that's your choice. I'm just saying I do not use it, myself. The Casita travel trailer is fairly dynamically designed. It's like an Airstream in that design. And the next question is, do you use a sway bar? Answer, I do have a sway bar, and I have used it 2 times since I bought the Casita. Do I need it? Do I need it? No, I do not need it, and I will not use it anymore. Why? Because it's not needed. And a sway bar can be a little bit of a pain. You know, if you get into cities where you're going to be making some sharp 90-degree turns, going into gas station and going around blocks and stuff, the sway bar is not designed for that. All right, it's just not. It's designed for straight and level roads, pretty much. You know, like interstates. And if you're going to be traveling on interstate highways a lot, and you're going to be in windy conditions a lot, then I would say you could probably use a weight distribution hitch and benefit from it. I do not use one. Next question, how does it tow? That's a difficult question because that's really a tough question to answer because it's not really clearly defined. But I will say this, as compared to other RVs I've had, and I've had several. I'm 73 years old and I've been doing this for over 25 years. I would have to say that the Casita tows better than any RV I've ever had. As far as miles per gallon when towing, I have a 2017 Ram pickup V6, 3.6 liter, 8-speed transmission, regular cab, 321 gears, and I get 17 miles to the gallon approximately. That will vary depending on road conditions, whether I'm in hills, mountains, or whatever, but overall I get between 16 and 17.3. The next question I've had come up a few times, well, what about the interior quality, you know, the cabinets and so forth, as compared to other RVs? Well, it's hard to say, but I can tell you about other RVs I've had. Compared to other RVs I've had Jaycos, I've had Coachman, I've had Kit. I can't remember all the names of them. I've had several. The Casita interior cabinets are as good or better than any of them. All right, I would have to say better in most cases. What else? What about the carpet on in the interior? Is that a pain to keep clean? Answer, no. Does it develop odors? I can't really say. I've only had the RV for 6 months. I do occasionally. I have a rechargeable hand vacuum cleaner that occasionally I just kind of make a few brushes across the ceiling and stuff. I don't know why. It doesn't appear dirty and it doesn't have any odor at all. Does the carpet inside retain moisture? Well, that was one of the purposes of putting it in there, was to reduce condensation and also improve the acoustics of the interior of the RV, as well as it gives you a little insulation also. So I like the carpet on the inside. I think it's a fine addition to the Casita. I'm not sure when they added it. Maybe it was the original engineering, I'm not sure, but it works okay for me. I have no complaints. And right along with that will come along, what about moisture buildup and condensation, etc. on windows wherever? Well, I live in a not dry area of Texas, but the humidity averages around 30%. I'm not near the coast of Texas. I'm about 225 miles from the coast, or the Gulf Coast of Texas. So I'm in a dry part of Texas, and again, the humidity is 30 to 40% average, sometimes lower, sometimes a little higher. And I mostly travel to the western part of the United States, where the climate is very dry. New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, those places, you have to buy humidity. I mean, it's that dry. 8% humidity while I'm traveling is not unusual. And that's about, it depends, could be 3 to 4 to 5 months a year, just depending on how I feel. But also, in addition to that, going to drier climates, the air conditioner on the Casita, I have a 2019 Freedom Deluxe again. It has a roof-mounted AC. It comes with a heat strip, a 1500 watt heat strip. Well, when you're running the heater in the winter, and that's where you get most of your moisture buildup, is in the winter when you've got all the windows closed. If you're running that heater, it's also running the evaporator on the air conditioner, so that it will actually dry the interior of the RV out, as well as heat the RV. So you can turn, even on days that aren't that cool, if you notice some condensation, you can turn the heater on very low, and it will take that moisture right out of the RV very quickly. I also have a small dehumidifier. It's a self-contained unit. You can get it at Amazon using my link, I hope. It's called an EVA-Dry, EVA-Dry, DRY, and that you don't have to add any little crystals or anything to it ever. What it does, it allows you to, whenever you have 120 volt electricity available, you plug it into an outlet, preferably outside, and it has some little heat strips in it that evaporate the moisture from the little crystals, and it can be reused over and over and over. And I like it so far. I've only recharged it a couple of times, and maybe it's psychological, but it does seem to help some. What else? How do you heat the RV without a furnace? Since I do not have a furnace, I did not want a furnace, I do not live in a very cold area of the United States. We do get a little winter, probably 2 months, but it's not that bad. So I use the heat strip in the air conditioner, because that's all I need, and it's plenty of heat. 1500 watts is plenty to heat 84 square feet of interior space. For those of you that live in the colder climates, I would recommend you probably get the furnace, but that's your choice. I don't like them because they're noisy. They are propane hogs, and I don't need them. Before I got this unit, I had a Coachman. It didn't have a heat strip, and it didn't have a furnace. Well, it did have a furnace, but I didn't use it. I just used a burner on the stove, and I would also use I have a Pelonis, P-E-L-O-N-I-S, Pelonis electric heater. It's 3 speeds, and on 400 watts, it'll keep the interior of that Casita as warm as I want in the climate that I'm in. So that takes care of the heating. Some other questions are, what about the small shower, the wet bath? Well, it's compared to other wet baths and other RVs, I would have to say that it's quite roomy, actually. Some of the teardrop models have wet baths, and they're very popular too. But I like the Casita because it does have more room. If you're 5'10", it would work perfectly, I believe, because I'm 6'1", and the interior height of the Casita is 6'1.5" inch. And when I don't have my shoes on, standing flat-footed on my little bath mats, then my head doesn't touch the ceiling in the RV. I mean, in the middle of the RV. But in the shower, I have to stoop over a little bit. Another question that comes up occasionally is, what about the swivel chairs? Are they good quality? Yes. Are they fixed in place? Are they mounted? Yes. You cannot move them in and out. You can't take them outside. You could easily swap them. You know, there's like 4 little bolts that are holding them to the floor, and if you're using one like I am as a loner living in the RV by myself, if the cushion on that swivel chair that I'm using all the time starts to show some wear, can I swap them out? Yeah. Will I do that? Maybe. Now, the bed is the next question. It comes up quite a bit. How big is the bed? Okay, well, the bed is a large dining area in the rear of the Casita, but I have mine folded down and it's fixed because I don't use it. Where the swivel chairs are, there's another small dining table, and that's all I need. The bed dimensions are 50-inch wide, approximately, well, plus or minus an inch or two, and 75 inches long. So that's 6 foot 3 inches, 75 inches, correct. So you got plenty of room there. As far as what you can try sleeping on the cushions that come with the with that area back there. They're a little hard, and I don't know, I didn't particularly like them, so I put a pad on them. Actually, what I've done now is I've put a Walmart, what do they call it, a mattress in a box. It cost me $62. It's an inner spring mattress, and then on top of that I have a 2-inch memory foam pad. It's like an exercise mat thing, but it's made in Japan. It's a bed for people in Japan, and I put that on top, and all that, it works great, so I have no complaints. So you got to do, they make a bed that is curved, that'll fit that spot, but as I recall, it's around $600 or $800. And you know, I sleep fine, folks. I've got a clear conscience. Okay. Now, as far as storage, a lot of people ask about storage. Is there enough storage? Well, I can't answer a question like that other than to say it depends on how much stuff you want to take. All right. For me, I've got empty space available. You know, there's little storage compartments all around the top, and then there's as you come in the entry to the right is a little closet area that's very deep, and yeah, it holds all my hanging clothes, my shoes, and I've got actually it's called a shoe organizer that I put towels and underwear and socks in that keeps that organized. So you can figure all that out. But again, my thinking on going camping, and even for me living in the RV itself, less is more. I don't want more stuff. I want less stuff. So I don't have much. I've got 2 or 3 changes of clothes, a couple of pairs of shoes. I've only got 1 pair of feet, you know, so I'm good to go with that. I've got some Crocs, some walking shoes, and that's all I need. You know, but for what other people, you know, if it's a man and a wife, you know, a woman's going to have more stuff than a man typically, because she has outfits. You know, a man just has a shirt and a pair of pants. So, you know, so all those things you have to work out. But I would leave you with this suggestion, and it's this. You know, they make a Spirit Deluxe and a Freedom Deluxe. The difference between them is the Freedom Deluxe has the swivel chairs at the dining table, and the Spirit Deluxe has some little fixed bench seats. All right. Now, if it's 2 people, I would recommend you get the Spirit Deluxe. Why? Because that little area can be made into a little lounge area by putting that dining table down, so that, you know, someone could actually sit there and read a book, or maybe work on their laptop, or do whatever they wanted to do, while the other person might be on the bed reading a book or laptop, whatever they wanted to do. So, you know, the swivel chairs work fine for 1 person, but for 2, it might be a little difficult, but that's just my personal opinion. Everyone has their own way to do things. But having said that, I hope I've answered some of the questions that most of you have asked, or a lot of you have asked. And if you decide to buy you a Casita, be sure and let Jonathan at Casita know. He's a salesman there. He's a good one, so check with him if you're going to buy one. He's been there over 20 years, knows everything. And yeah, let him know that you were sent by me, and they'll pay me a finder's fee. Maybe. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but you know, we'll see how it works. If you remind them enough, I think they will. But enough said about that. Anyway, and this is Central Texas. I'm on Highway 1431 right now. The temperature is 68 degrees, headed to 85 today. This is March the 8th, I think. I could be wrong. And yeah, it's going to be a nice warm day here in Central Texas. But having said that, guys, for you Casita lookers, thumbs up. Carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want, anytime you want. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because I get a small commission. It doesn't cost you 1 penny. What else? Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk. You know, keep your health, whatever it takes. Stand guard at the door of your mind. You know, accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. And a lot of people, you know, probably click off the video when I start into this routine, which is fine. But it's very important, guys. If you don't have your health, you ain't got nothing. You know, and these are just little tips that are free. And something that you ought to do too, particularly you older folks, at least once every 2 or 3 years, go to an optician and have your eyes checked, because they can detect things that might be just starting that you can prevent. But if you let them get started too far, then you got a problem. They can also check, you know, see about, you know, if you're a diabetic. They can check a lot of stuff. They can check about, see if you're diabetic, high blood pressure, and all kind of stuff. But anyway, guys, enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend coming up. Adios. Bye-bye.